think this is all very much a repercussion, a manifestation of this, of the whole dichotomy of Yaakov and Esav.
Yeah.
So the Jewish people are supposed to be representing Hashem's light in the world. Whether or not they're always up to that job, whether or not they're always fulfilling it, is a different issue. But that is their mandate, and the effort to delegitimize them and to cast that in a negative light and to basically, dehumanize them. It's part of this process that's been set into motion that the prophet tells goes until the end of time, until the time of redemption, and that it's basically a question of choice of who identifies with that or not.
Right. Yeah. Well, and why not talk about the perfect example that has been in the news this past week? That is, preeminent right now in the media. It's really drawing out those who really feel like they have been given a pass to go ahead and make anti-Jewish, make a lot of, create a lot of rhetoric against the Jews and against Israel.
So, where would you like to start?
Do what?
Where would you like to start?
Oh, well, I don't know. I mean, you've got some amazing points there.
So at a recent dinner in Florida, President Trump hosted this anti-Semitic, I'm calling him anti-Semitic now, openly rapper, Kanye West, and with him was this, Holocaust denier, anti-Semite Nick Fuentes, right? President Trump claims he was not aware of Fuentes' positions. That's neither here nor there. But the point is, it certainly damaged him by having these two together. In any event, then afterwards, Kanye West appeared on this Alex Jones podcast, which apparently was a very, very long broadcast. And in this really crazy interview with Alex Jones, Kanye West declared, am I allowed to call him that, or his official name is Ye now or something like that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
can't
either.
Keep track.
So,
the artist formerly called Kanye.
Right. So he launched into this whole declaration of love for Nazis, calling himself a Nazi, his admiration for Adolf Hitler. He said, and he was wearing this black mask that completely covered his face, and he was ranting about sin and pornography and the devil. And he basically said that he likes Hitler, and he sees good things about him. He says he invented highways. He invented the very microphone that I use as a musician. You can't say out loud that this person ever did anything good, and I'm done with that. So he was talking about how he has admiration for Hitler and for Nazis, adding, I'm done with this classification. Every human being has something of value that they brought to the table, especially Hitler. Anyway, so this has been a very big item in the news. And I think not so much as far as the man himself, who apparently is, I don't know, you want to say that he has mental issues, that he has a questionable mental state, that as if that's an excuse, but that's not even my point. The point is really the reaction of people. If you follow, the social media talkbacks and the world of the comments that people make about it, what you begin to understand is that there is this mainstreaming of anti-Semitism that's going on in the entertainment world, in the world of that comes to voice in social media, and it's considered, not only is it considered normal, for a while I remember it was only when people were anti-Israel, anti-Zionist, and they were not anti-Semitic, as it were. That was like the excuse.
Somehow.
That was the garb of anti-Semitism for a long time. It was, people would say, I have nothing against the Jewish people. The problem is about Israel. But now it's like the genie is out of the bottle, and we're back to the classic Jew hatred that is being basically, like I say, mainstreamed and accepted as perfectly reasonable and and undeniable. And the things that are said about Jews now, you could never say about anybody else, because the only people basically that are left kind of like in a perpetual open season, that none of the progress that's been made in terms of being politically correct and being woke about all the different people's rights, none of it seems to apply to the Jewish people.
Yeah, and I this is the mystery, I think, that seems to pervade the world and has for centuries. And I think we look back at, we're talking about this week's Torah Parsha being fully realized in the idea. It's this wrestling match. It's this wrestling match of ideas, of political motives. And again, I think that it's in some ways it's almost necessary to remind the Jewish people that they need to, at least those who aren't living in Israel, that you have a home that you need to be in, because the world hates you. And our listeners and viewers are not among those. So I'm not pointing the finger at them, but the idea that the news media would even give someone like Kanye and this Nick Fuentes any platform at all, and it's my only response is, can I get an oy vey? Yeah.
But in my pointing all these things out and sharing with you, how disturbed I am about it, I'm not, not asking for sympathy, not playing the victim card or anything like that at all. I think it's imperative for Jewish people and for those people who love Hashem, for the non-Jews as well, who are followers of Torah and who are followers of Hashem, to recognize this historical pattern and to understand that these are cosmic forces at work, and because it really is about, like that verse that I mentioned from Haggai, where Hashem says he's going to sift through, and shake out the finer things from the nations as well. It's always a question of choice. There's a thread running through the whole Tanakh, through all the prophets, that in Hashem's eyes, it's always been about quality, not about quantity. It's always this whole idea of a remnant, that I think that the masses are not even part of the equation. It's about those souls that are on fire for Hashem, that are souls of light, that want to see goodness in the world, that want to see a sanctification of God's name in the world, that stand up for right. It's about those souls being counted and taking a stand. And we've been saying that for so long, but things just seem to be coming to a head, and to such an extreme.
Yeah, I think we can draw a direct line from what you're talking about, from this idiocy exhibited by Kanye and Nick Fuentes and everybody else that gets on board with them. This is that wrestling match, and this is that angel of Esav touching the nerve, and it does touch a nerve, but touching that nerve, that one of the things it does is it's to get the people of Israel, the Jewish people, to remember, not to forget their roots, not to forget their connection to Torah. When the Jews in this country become assimilated and they basically forget the Torah, the basics of Torah, and the basics of belief in God and the belief in their destiny, which is to live in Israel and to rebuild the temple. This is in that wrestling match. This is realized in that angel touching that nerve and wanting Yaakov
and trying to
forget.
and trying to damage the future.